Can you hear that? The ocean's natural wind chimes. Thousands of coral bones crashing together at the movement of the waves, creating a musical sound. It sounds like the beginning of a Moana song. Beautiful. It doesn't seem real, does it? It looks as though it is part of a dream, or a moving picture of what heaven could be. Earth's natural beauty, a piece of paradise. Today we make our way to another island. Hopefully this time Megan's boobs behave themselves. This is day 17. Fitzroy Island. 12 a.m. Why does it ache more at night? I thought, shoving a drink bottle under the right side of my back. 1 a.m. Still awake, tossing and turning, wriggling and worming. 2 a.m. Got up and went for a walk around the room. Accidentally woke Megan up. 3 a.m. Put my pillow at the other end of the bed and snuggled down with the drink bottle pressed up against my back. Not as good as a heat pack, but it will do. 4 a.m. I need Megan's chemist, but don't want to wake her up. Stupid girl Kelly for forgetting Panadol. 5 a.m. Had a mini dream and woke up instantly, forgetting what the dream was about. It seemed important too. Oh well. 2 hours left, Kel. Come on! Fuck! Get to sleep! 6 a.m. Dozing. 7 a.m. Awake and waiting for the alarm. Megan made waking up noises and turned over to face my bunk after her alarm sounded. "Good morning," I said quietly. "Are you still awake?" Yep. I was wide awake and ready to go. We took our sicky tablets and boarded the boat. But I wasn't wide awake for long.
We're taking a weather.
Megan's at the front. We're sitting outside.
No, backwards is going to be like, it'll be stupid sitting backwards.
Let's go to that seat up there. Change seat.
Are you already relocated?
Yeah, because we don't know how Megan will go going backwards.
Waits them when it all ends, but I don't know what will happen to me. Will I be remembered in a century?
We sat quietly waiting for the boat to leave, but the more time that passed, the more sleepy I became. I yawned and yawned, rubbed my eyes like a little kid in my Finding Nemo leggings who had just finished her snacks and now needed a nap. Megan was starting to look nervous about our short voyage, wondering just how bad her seasickness would be today. By the time the last few people were seated, my fatigue had reached an unbearable level. I desperately needed to lie down. I looked at the empty row of seats inside the cabin and imagined myself lying down on them. I looked at the wet, spongy floor. "Do you think it would be weird if I lied down on the floor?" I asked Megan. "Yeah, mate, people will think there's something wrong with you." "Yeah, they might think I'm already boat sick." I leaned forward and back, trying to stay awake. The boat finally roared to life, and we were out at sea. The fresh breeze blew in my face. Ah, that's better. We watched the beautiful rainbow disappear into the distance. 20 minutes into the journey and Megan was doing extraordinarily well, but I wasn't. I was delirious by now. My brain felt light and airy. All the movements around me were fast and sharp with blurred edges. I swear I saw a huge shark jump out of the water a few meters away from the boat. I shot up out of my seat and said, "Shark!" Not that loud, because I am still quite shy in real life. My heart bursting out from my chest. I was mortified with myself when I saw it was a giant lump of seaweed. I swear I saw it jump, Megan. I saw its fins and everything. I knew one thing for sure. I needed sleep.
Happened to me. Will I be remembered in this century? Or will I be forgotten like dust in the wind? Or the talk of the town that we are living in? I don't know.
Fitzroy Island tipped the horizon, and Megan was overjoyed that she had kept her nausea at bay.
We're going to Fitzroy Island!
Yay, you didn't get boat sick, I cheered, and Megan smiled.
We are living in. Well, I don't know. How could I know what lies ahead of me? Am I part of a grander master plan? Will I be washed away just like lines in the sand?
Megan led us along and up the winding sandy track. We had to walk single file as it wasn't much of a path. I slowly followed Megan in silence, trying to concentrate on not falling asleep. But every patch of grass looked like a nice place to rest. Every lump of sand looked like a cozy pillow for my head to lay. All the large branches and logs looked like beds. The giant smooth round boulder we walked around, oh how I wanted to lean up against it and go to sleep. Up and up we climbed. We finally reached the top and a man said we still had another 10 minutes. 10 minutes? Oh, get me to the sand. Before we made the descent to Nudie Beach, we stood and admired the view from above. I managed to take a photo. Then we climbed down the rocky steps to the bottom and carefully trailed across thousands of dead coral that covered large areas of the ground. Hundreds of pieces of bones shaped like bits of reef in different shapes, sizes and patterns. I thought we would never reach the sand. When we did though, I pushed forwards to find a place to sleep. Megan found a cozy spot at the back near these giant rocks and trees. It was shady and perfect. There were about 3 groups of people a metre away on either side of us, but that didn't stop me from throwing my backpack down and collapsing onto it, huffing and puffing on the way down. I lied on my back as straight as a stick with my head on my backpack like a pillow and my hat covering my face. And with the sound of waves peacefully hitting the sand and muffled voices around me, I finally went to sleep. I woke up in a panic. Where am I? Who am I? What am I doing? I felt the squishy sand, then moved my hat from my face and sat up. Megan! No answer. A couple looked over at me. Oh good, she is snorkeling. Then I saw her by a tree taking pictures of Nudie Beach. I turned and looked to see it for myself. Wow! I gasped when I saw how blue the water was. I couldn't see before, through clouds of fuzzy fatigue, how beautiful the beach was. How long was I out for? Oh, about 30 minutes, Megan said. Have you been in there yet? Nah, was waiting for you. Well, 30 minutes was enough charging time for my dead battery. I was up and ready to enjoy another snorkel on the Great Barrier Reef. waist deep, and we could already see the coral. It was only about 2 meters away from the shore, and it was incredible. An underwater world of life. Hundreds of tiny creatures swimming around this colourful ecosystem. I didn't know where to look first. Minutes on the reef, then another 30-minute power nap. Megan joined me on my second nap. All the Great Barrier Reef excitement had tired her out. We slept, then ate our cheese and chive pastries, and returned to the reef. Goggles on, snorkels ready, and under we went. Megan and I were thrilled when we spotted a lionfish. Bubbles came out of our mouth. That's how excited we were. It hovered over the coral, delicately with its frills waving out around all sides. Poised and angelic, it glided across the reef, an underwater butterfly with creamy red-white stripes. Amazing. I later read that the lionfish is actually venomous. The beauty of the reef wowed me, took my breath away. But what I found most extraordinary was the magical sound of the piles and piles of dead corals as they crashed together from the movement of the waves. It sounded like hundreds of wind chimes blowing in the wind all at once. And it sounded even more beautiful under the water. Even with the burning knot in my stomach from acid reflux, probably caused by the cheese and chive pastry and the salt water, and my exhaustion from sleepless nights with the sciatica pain, even with those discomforts, this was still the most amazing experience I have ever had the privilege of experiencing.
There's like a beautiful big angel, one of those big black angel things. Oh yeah.
This is amazing. This tree here, didn't get to appreciate this on the way down because I was super tired and had to have a sleep. But that tree is growing on top of that rock. All the roots are growing around it. That is incredible.
Kelly's bag.
Yeah, Megan said I was very quiet on the way down and I wasn't mentioning any of this cool stuff.
I thought, look at that rock, Kel, look at that.
I was floating. Oh, that's how tired I was. I was seeing double. On the way in on the boat, I got so excited because I thought I saw a shark. I actually saw a shark jump out of the water. That's how delirious I was.
Thanks, RC, for a magical day on Fitzroy Island.
It was the best, Rach. Wish you could have been here with us.
You see dories and bubbles and gills and...
Weird angelfish. I think that's what it was called, an angelfish that big. What an awesome day that has been.
Thanks, good birthday present, Rach. Loved it.
Best beach I've ever been to. Really was. Go this place. Cheers, everyone.
Alright, we got 10 seconds.
And there is that beautiful sound again, the ocean's very own musical instrument. My head did this bobbing, falling asleep dance while we waited for everyone to board the boat. I think I slept most of the way back.
vomiting today.
When we finally arrived home to Gilligan's, I flopped on my bed in my damp, sandy clothes and fell asleep. I woke up half an hour later after Megan had showered and somehow managed to have a shower too and wash my hair. I put my pyjamas on over my semi-dry skin, fell back on my pillow with wet hair and slept. 4 hours later, I lifted my head and the room was dark. Megan was watching a movie on her iPad. "Oh, what have you been doing this whole time?" I asked when she looked over at me. Read, watched a movie, had me garang." "Really?" I asked, as I was quite surprised that I didn't even hear the heavy door slam shut when she went out to the kitchen. "Well, I wasn't waiting for you." Ouch! The outer layer of my emotions rippled at the sting in her voice. She seemed mad, upset that I had left her alone, but I was too tired to feel any guilt in that moment. I flopped back down and I was asleep before my head hit the pillow. Sorry, Megan.
Well, I don't know. How could I know what lies ahead of me? Am I part of a grander master plan? Will I be washed away just like lines in the sand?
And that is the end of another terrific day. Not many left now. If you are here until the end, please join us next time for day 18 and 19, where we aimlessly gallivant. Thanks for watching, everyone. See you next time, or you'll see us. Bye!